Captain's log started 7192019 16.5. So basically what's going on, everyone, here on the Enterprise Day is we basically had some stuff. As you all know, we went to the meeting on Wednesday, and I got a wireless device here at home from the library. I don't know if I want to do live yet, but I have internet for 3 weeks. So basically what has happened is we decided after the meeting we had stuff we had to follow through to get the apartment safe. Well, that means, Chloe's gotta go. Unfortunately, talking to legalese and all these other damn idiots, it's not that simple. So let me break it down to you. Now, I know Dinky is not talking to me because I basically vented on her again on a problem. But you know what? Basically, unless I can get through to family about what I want for my birthday, since I'm buying my birthday present, I don't give a crap, okay? Here's what's really happening. So basically, I went to the meeting, and we all sat around, and they all threw out ideas. Oh, domestic violence, and this, and that, and the other thing. But Chloe wasn't there. So, what happened? Nothing. So basically we leave, and then I'm supposed to meet up with one of my we had 3 advocates store, the management company, and the manager, and they left, right? Manager, management company leaves. That just left 2 of the advocates leaving 3 minutes later, and then it was just me and one of the other advocates. The other advocate turns around and says, look, we gotta do this, this, and this, right? But I said, did you take notes? No. So then I basically go and I email. No reply. The next morning I get an email. Please come in at your earliest convenience. Okay, well I'm not going to my therapist appointment. So I go to my therapist appointment, and I tell my therapist what's going on, and she says this is not good. Not good at all. They're doing something completely illegal. They're basically telling you to keep your house, you must have a restraining order, right? Which is fine by my family's point of view, but the problem is you can't basically say this because it's got to be implemented properly. Now, the thing is the law states that you have to have concrete evidence, okay? The evidence in Moses Lake doesn't apply here. So basically, you go in there and they're going to laugh. I mean, look, she made threats against neighbors. She's made threats against the APS lady. She's made threats against government officials. She didn't make threats against me. She only basically throws temper tantrums in the store. So by their standards, it doesn't play right? Just like, oh, that's not abuse, it's just a child with temper tantrum, right? So anyways, so basically the next day after my therapist appointment, Thursday, I go and see the advocate. One advocate's busy, so busy that I have to come in next week. It's them, but thing is they can't do anything because they have the police report that Chloe's made so many direct threats that it doesn't matter, but I was told that either I have to re-up my lease, which means getting rid of Chloe, which won't happen, or I end up homeless, which won't happen, or a restraining order, which, as you all know, including Chloe's mom, it is basically what do you call it? Against the law, basically. Just to say, So basically what's going to happen is, I was trying to talk to Dinky about maybe a tent for, as a gift, by myself, just in case I'm homeless, but talking to Dinky right now, the real problem with my family is they're angry because everyone's not doing their job. The thing is, see what happened is, we went to this meeting, okay? And they basically sat there and they threw out this and threw out that, sold the management company, and then left. When they left, I went in the next day, and they were like, look, this lady's busy, come back next week, we can't do anything for you right now. That was it. Threw me out. Literally just threw me out. Threw me out and just said goodbye. And the other lady basically said, because the 2 reports that we had, the APS report basically said that there was warranted, APS letter basically said the investigation was warranted, but enough information existed to confirm the investigation was warranted. This case is closed. Basically, there's no domestic violence or nothing, yada, 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 so don't bother us. And then basically, I checked in with her, and those reports are, the reports are supposed to go to my caseworker, They're not getting them. Caseworker says, I'll do whatever I can to help you, but the problem is when I was talking to the lady about, possibly being kicked out, because of the whole thing where they're saying, well, the law states that this is a comply or vacate. You got 10 days to comply or vacate, but if you comply, we're not re-upping your lease. But they're saying to re-up your lease, you must do a restraining order. And so, then you get into the complications when I was talking to the one advocate Thursday. She said, well, look, you got the police report stating that there's no reports. They can't basically base anything on hearsay. You can't basically record anything. And so basically throwing temper tantrums in stores is temper tantrums. There's nothing more. You put your foot down and say no. You earn it. Well, he's earning it, but the problem is everything's falling through the cracks. So I know where Dinky's feeling shafted. The thing is, Dinky did her job. I did my job. The problem is this company basically realizing that they don't have to comply because it's a 10-day comply or vacate. One is because of noise, and the other is because Chloe made threats to the neighbor. But then the advocates say, well, because it's in our own home and the sheriff came out and investigated, even though the threats were in our home, the law states that it was in our domicile. So technically, unless a neighbor next door clearly hears it, it's considered hearsay. Even if the sheriff goes next door and says, did you know that there were these threats made against you? She didn't hear it. She says no. She goes and reports the drug team and the sheriff's investigating. Still hearsay because it falls on the reporting party. So technically there was no report. So technically they're saying, well, look, you got threats being made against everyone else except for you, Rita. We can't hold this in court. We can't basically do a restraining order. Then they turn around and they say, look, we can't do anything of the sort. We can't even take your old notes that in the past of where, Chloe's made threats, because those notes are basically, from the wording, is basically against others. Now, Chloe basically taking your debit card when you authorize her to use it to pay bills, well, that's a different story. So technically, Captain, you're screwed. Any way to look at it, you're completely, thoroughly screwed. While you're at it, Chloe's outside doing the cleaning of the bunny cage. I figured I would share that with you all. So basically, Chloe doesn't watch my videos anyways, but I figured I would sit down and tell you that they're trying to say to save my house, I have to have a restraining order. Unfortunately, by law, the law can't be implemented for a restraining order, so they're not even bothering with it. They went there and they said, oh, we'll do a restraining order, Rita will do a restraining order, but there's not enough evidence to stack up for a restraining order. We can't just trump something up. It's not right to trump something up. I mean, we can't basically sit there and say, Chloe put a knife to her throat and said, fuck America, fuck, blah, 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 blah. That's not evidence. If Chloe turned around and said, well, F your cousin's a freeloading mooch, your cousin's whatever, your cousin's whatever, blah, 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 talking about Dinky. Chloe's got a beef with Dinky anyways. Chloe's always venting about Dinky, and tell me, me and Dinky's got a good relationship. So, basically, the problem is, I understand where Dinky's coming from this whole ordeal, but honestly, the problem is Dinky isn't the problem. Okay, what the real problem is Chloe. But the problem is we get one complaint, we're not being researched. We got 10, we're going to be kicked out. So technically, we're walking eggshell. But I was supposed to see the manager today to let her know what's going on. Because basically yesterday's meeting went down the toilet. I mean, I went in there to see what can be done, and they're like, we can't, because I want to save my home, but we can't do it. They're basically saying, well, we have a couple weeks, you get a truck and a store check, you're good. We'll help you load up and leave. So, where are we supposed to go? So, Chloe's mom, if you're watching this, you can understand what's going on. They're trying to force me to do a restraining order. And basically, the problem is it's against the law. And, the management company can't get away with it. The advocate said they can't produce one. And if Dinky, you're watching this, the only reason why I'm talking about this in general is because the laws don't apply. Look, unless she basically does something foolishly stupid to get her jailed, There's nothing we can do. We have to go our separate ways. And the only way to do that is either I basically pack up and go my separate way, which means that, or, wait till October until the lease is up. Those are the only options right now. The manager's not in, so I don't know what the manager's options is, but you guys get the idea. The idea is it's not good. Literally, it is basically pretty crappy. I mean, literally, we are basically dealing with garbage. So basically, they want a restraining order. It's not going to happen because the advocate said, look, we can't do one because the police records basically say it's hearsay. Everything in it's hearsay. The APS report that they forced me to write, it's hearsay. Basically, temper tantrum. Making threats against other tenants, hearsay. I mean, literally, what are they going to do? They're going to basically pull something out of their hat and say, this happened? I mean, look, making threats against my family, my extended family in Kansas, you know who I'm talking about, right, Lexi? It's hearsay. Basically, even though it's in our medical records, it's still hearsay, even though it's coming from Chloe for the venting. Now, technically, everything is freaking hearsay. I mean, that's the thing. So basically, her mom, if you're watching this, you need to realize that either you have to get her out and convince her to sign herself off the lease, or, we're both going to be on the street, and it's not going to be pretty because they cannot allow this to continue. I mean, they're basically doing something illegal. I mean, look, the reason the advocate said, look, they didn't write down something on paper in a contract would be basically that it would get back to, if it ever got back to, Chloe's mom that, we signed a contract saying a restraining order, and that's one thing, but the problem is they're basically turning around and basically saying, you're going to do this. And if the advocates Thursday morning said, we're not doing this. Basically, there's not enough evidence. We went and contacted the law. We did everything and by our books. We can't do it in it. So you're on your own. So basically what the whole damn thing is that I want to basically, because I was venting to Dinky about this, it's basically like hubby would say. Watch the birdie on the left while we do something on the right, or vice versa, or smoke and mirrors, basically, smoky mirrors, basically, they're doing something while we're doing, something else, so, they're basically doing some elaborate thing. The problem is they can't make anything up. It's like Dinky was saying, if we could record something of this, the thing is Chloe has her borderline rage, it's usually at neighbors, or, you basically tell Chloe clean, she's like, I'm not fucking cleaning, next thing you know, freaking sheriff's knocking, wondering why she got mad, and it's like, because I asked her to clean, she's basically got to earn her keep, and they're like, keep it down, they're going to get her evicted. Well, she's shooting to us, and they're like, look, if you're going to be freeloading, I mean, thing is, it's basically, the other thing is, people need to realize, and Chloe's mom knows this, she doesn't hold anything against me, but people need to realize that I feel more appreciative if they, they're compassionate, caring, and loving, and, that they respect me. Thing is when I have to ask for a place like this to be cleaned, I'm saying, can we get this cleaned? I get, I mean, literally. So, the other thing I want to share with you today is I found a place that does layaway for wall tents. So, I'm going to see if I can get a wall tent on layaway and see about getting a package together, figuring out how much it's going to do and what the layaway terms are. I'll let you all know, but, I'm looking at the wall tent with a stove as a backup in case I lose my house, but the joke goes, and this is something I was telling my therapist the other day, I like my therapist, is I basically vented to my therapist and I said, look, I got a couple of problems on my head that I can't, my therapist said, look, let me give you the first part. She said, don't trust anyone in your outer circle except for certain people. They're going to screw you over. She said, look, she says, you're going to go and find out you're being screwed by your advocate. Literally, she called it when I went there. And I didn't believe her. I went there and when I emailed her, she says, I told you. They're basically saying they can't help. She says, look, you have a great bond with Chloe. You don't want to throw away your bond because Chloe, well, the thing is, she basically is making me homeless. Now, my family wants her gone, and I agree completely, but the thing is they're turning around and basically, they're giving advice. Everyone's giving advice. I have my own personal feelings, and yet no one's letting me have my personal feelings. So my therapist is like, look, you're being screwed all the way around. You got advocates screwing you around. You got your management company screwing you around. Anything will help you load the truck up too, and you can be homeless. At least you'll have Chloe, because otherwise, she says you got a dog and a bunny, and you're living by yourself. Well, I don't mind living by myself. The problem is that she says no one cares for you, literally. No one cares. If people cared for you, they would sit there and they would put up with your quirks, she said. They would care. They would say, hey, how are you doing? You okay? Instead, they're not doing anything. They're basically hiding behind a computer or a screen, because, and I was saying, I had a couple complaints about something, and she's like, look, the problem is you don't need to complain because no one's listening. Just tell them all to F off and go on your merry way. If you can't get any answers or can't get anything, she says, why waste your time on people that aren't even worth your time? That's exactly what she said. Why waste your time on people that, aren't going to be giving you it? If someone's angry about the current situation, she said, then don't bother with them. Just basically wipe them out, whatever. I mean, she said, look at Chloe, for example, she was talking about Chloe's mom, for example. She said, look at Chloe's mom. Chloe's mom's got all these ideas, but it takes money to do this, and, people say, well, it's not my job to pay it. Well, then you have the other problem. Then she says, look at your family, your family turns around, okay? And I was telling her, I was semi-venting for a second. She said, take a deep breath. But I said, one of my family members, and I was talking about it, doesn't like the fact that the situation is grim, that nothing can be freaking done. And she says, well, the good Lord's got a plan for you and Chloe. But they basically think I'm falling through the cracks, okay? And I said, look, one family member thinks I'm falling through the cracks and thinks something needs to be done, with this abuser. Another family member said, you're either the abuser or the abused. And she says, I don't see you abusing people, but because nothing's being done, and it's in your records, in her medical records that you abused her, that, she was just like, look, I know you didn't abuse her, but, you gotta get away from her. Unfortunately, she said to me yesterday on her way to Reno that she basically said, and I quote, those people all need to be fired because they're not doing their job. Well, advocates don't need to be fired because I can fire them themselves, but they're not going to do anything. The problem is trying to get everything concreted, and it doesn't work. Literally, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all in any way, shape, or form. So, to me, I wanted to share that with you all. Pretty much. Literally, across the board, everything has to happen for a reason, right? So, basically, I wanted to share that with you all. I love all of you. I literally love all of you, okay? Is the toilet seat put down? Yeah. I hope so. I don't want bunny swimming in the toilet, so... Basically, what has happened is like I said, now that Chloe's in, she's going to bring in the bag, and I told her to reuse what hay we have because, we got to get some more hay soon, and... Oh, okay, so, I hope you put some hay in there because that bag is what we have left, otherwise she's going to go without her. So, we have to stretch the hay out. The pellets are fine, hay isn't. So basically what's happened is my little guy likes his pellets anyway, but okay, so here's the problem. The problem is I love every one of you that's watching this, okay? Now, my birthday's coming up. If you're watching this, I'd like to know, video games, laptop, or Chromebook, okay, or camera, digital camera. Or should I get boxes and move out, or a tent, as another option. So just share it with me, Jess, if you're watching this, glad you have it on board, bro. So basically, that's what's going on. So basically, now you know what's going on with the law. The law basically saying, no, we're not doing this. And the advocates are saying, no, we're not doing this. And the other advocate, and let me just tell you what's going on, okay? So everyone is on the same page, so you guys understand. So basically, because, it doesn't matter because, frankly, no one cares anyway, one way or another. So we're homeless or not, so it doesn't really matter. But I want to share it from my own words, okay? And that's why I'm doing this video, not just for Chloe's mom or Dinky. And Dinky's like, oh, well, you probably just let the cat out of the bag. Doesn't matter. I mean, look, Poppy already said it. It doesn't matter. The law is being broken, okay? The law can't be the law can't be bent just for me, okay? They have to follow protocols. Now, I want to make a big statement here, alright? Like I said, video games, laptop, Chromebook, tent, or backpack here. Just, come on, throw me a bone here. My birthday's 20 days away. I want some answers. Thank you if you're watching this. I would love to have you talk to me about what we should really do with my birthday, or Tamara. Now, here's the big thing I want to share with y'all, including Corey and Teddy Bear and Chloe's mom. When I went to the appointment and the meeting and stuff, right, and they were doing the smoke and mirrors, the next, when they all cleared, right, and it's just me and the advocate, the one advocate, my social worker, caseworker, case manager, she basically said, well, we gotta do this, this, and this, right, by protocol, like the management company knows, right? So when we were talking about it, they wanted police reports, they wanted the APS reports, they wanted this, right? So when I got in touch with the lady yesterday morning, she said, oh yes, the release of information to give the police reports to the management company and the manager has to be given by this lady. Well, this lady was so busy with some woman or something that got abused and her kids got abused, and supposedly I didn't hear the whole story. I'm not allowed to know their name or anything, but it was something about rape and abuse. So the lady was like, priority is this person, yours is threat, so you're way down on the totem pole. So you need to come back next week if then, and if we don't have this cleared up, I mean, they were trying to do everything they can for this woman, but they're not open Friday, so they're like, well, we'll do this, we'll do that. So Tuesday might be out, because, she said, I'll email you as soon as I have an opening. Right now, this is priority. These take priority over everything. We got to place in the halfway house. We have to do this, clean them up. And so the lady said that. So the other advocate who can't do any of the legal things said, look, basically we found out that it was a 10-day comply or vacate. You can stay there, even though they said they're not renewing your lease, you're fine. So basically, we're done. Now, if you want to generously donate for our services, to help out other advocates, and we can advocate others, we'll take a Diamond donation of $40. That was it. So I'm like, oh, for my birthday I can donate $40. Okay, that's fine. But thing is when I talked to the advocate, my other one, the case manager, she said, what are we supposed to be doing? Oh, yeah, but that's on the other advocate's head. Our job is to write a note with the advocate's guidance on what we're supposed to do to help with your case, to keep your house, to basically do this, this, and this, to prove this, this, and this, meaning abuse. He says, I can't do anything till almost the first week of August because everyone's out and we have training. So training this week and training next week. By the time next week rolls around, it's almost to the week after. The advocate that I'm supposed to work with turns around and says, well, I'm busy with this, this, and this. So I talked to this applicant. She says, I'll check in with you Tuesday after you talk to the manager. The other lady turns around and says, oh, well, right now you're basically protected unless they basically want to start an eviction process after the 25th. You're covered. So don't worry. And we can go back into it. But since the boss man is not on this island and ain't coming back anytime soon, she's like, we're safe. We can go straight to the management company or the manager and do the wheel and deal. But the problem is they don't really want to wheel and deal because, frankly, they're being jackasses and basically stating, look, the birdies, they made a deal. Unfortunately, the deal basically fell through because, frankly, it wasn't a good deal. So basically what I'm saying to you all is that, I'm gonna settle down, make some dinner right now, brew me up some coffee, and make camp, as I call it, fancy moon salad. And look over a few things. I got a couple things to check online, but I wanted to talk to you about that for the most part. So basically, I want to say I love all of you. You mean the world to me, every one of you, and I just thought to be honest. Oh, there's a deer behind that bush. That I wanted to basically let you know that this was basically to the management company smokes and mirrors to these people. These people knew exactly what they were doing because when they went into that room for that meeting, not one of them was taking freaking notes. The manager, boss guy's talking, I'm quiet. Then the advocates are talking, and they said, what can we do to work all this through? And they're doing this, and then the next morning they basically pull out from under me and says, look, we're pulling the wool over your eyes or the rug out under your feet, you're on your own. This is this. can't do it, and they can't do it. So basically what they did was they went into the meeting basically knowing that they can't do jack shit, and they weren't going to do jack shit. They were just buying time so I can get out, is what they're thinking. Because the management company basically stated they won't research me if Chloe's not around, but they can't make a deal with me because by law, because they told me Thursday when I talked to the one advocate that the lawyers that they talked to said that Chloe can get a lawyer and fight it because they're offering me a deal, restraining order against Chloe, when there can't be one issued because they're, as the police said, we're basically being all corrupt just to get rid of Chloe out. And because of it, he said the threats weren't towards me, they were towards other people. Chloe was venting at people she hates. Now with me, of course, Chloe basically throws a temper tantrum, demands, and in the end, she gets what she wants. That's basically throwing a temper tantrum because borderline personality. I mean, hell, I've been trying to get her some mental health, but you know what? For all of you thinking, oh, well, you're trying too hard, you want to keep Chloe. Problem is we're stuck in a situation where lawyers we already talked to someone who's got access to lawyers. We can get Chloe out of this bind by saying the mental health card can be used. Unfortunately, making threats against another tenant's different, however. The law enforcement basically put in their report, which the manager will get soon. Basically, these threats are all empty threats. She can't carry them out, not even against the government. So basically, they're useless threats. So technically, if you want to evict her for making useless threats, then feel free to put Rita homeless too. So I was looking at Kent City and Seattle or something. That's why I was talking about it. But you know, the real thing is my family's like, oh, well, you know, you should go live in a tent if that's what you want. I'm trying to find my National Parks Pass because it's pretty much literally 50+% if I'm in a tent. But problem is I have a bunny, so that might draw some critters, and I'm going to have to carry a revolver or something with me to protect my bunny if he's in my tent with me. So, you know, I think he was joking about that. But, you know, frankly, basically the law is basically stating, you know, that as long as I'm here and Chloe's clammed up. I mean, Chloe's basically not saying a frickin' peep. All she's doing right now is dishes, preparing dinner, and getting the place clean. And because it's early enough, she's gonna clean the living room, which is not that dirty, and vacuum, because we need to get it vacuumed. And then when she's done, she's gotta make room, and she wants to get the dirty laundry done soon, which we're out of quarters, so. You know, but the thing is, if we're going to be going bye-bye, it's going to be after October because, you know, and the other thing is I have an apartment, 2-bedroom set up for another place. Fortunately for me, as an emergency backup, I don't want to jeopardize my lawsuit, but I'll talk to you all about that later. But, you know, I might have to go through a primary care physician to pretty much on this island to basically get some help on a couple things. I mean, usually I'm going to have to go through someone, but right now I'm not accessing my records to anyone. I don't trust them. So, because the hospital tried to tell me to move to Oregon, and that's what started this whole problem with me and Dinky not talking a lot anymore because of it, and the fact that I vented on her about this crap hole drama, which I apologize on. But, you know, Dinky's she's like a support to me, okay? But my therapist said don't trust Dinky. Therapist said don't trust Corey either, and I trust both of them. But anyways, the problem is, you know, with my me venting to her, basically, she understands, but she also understands that there's nothing that can be done. It's like everything that happens falls through cracks. So, you know. So, basically, you know, that's something I wanted to share with you all. A couple of presents came in today I wanted to share with you all, which was Dragon's Quest Builders 2 for Switch and PS4. And then there's a couple games that's coming out at the end of the month, which means on the first of the month I'll just buy them outright on Amazon. And I will be done with that one. So, you know, I also need to go into Amazon and find out about, you know, strategy guides. And go from there. Sorry about that. I'm just looking for... just to see if there's anything. Ah, yes, there is. So, we know there is a strategy guide, but they're going to be basically charging me an arm and a leg for it. So, the strategy guide, people want $100 for it. So, technically, I'm going to have to go through this and, And oh, there's but the reviews, that's the thing. When you look for a strategy guide, you need to have something that's basically affordable. And so I'm looking for a affordability. So, but yes, I was looking for strategy guides because frankly, I want to find out why they're charging so much for it, and I will check, um, eBay also, because I'm not going to be paying through the nose for a strategy guide if I have to, because I'm not paying $200 for a paper-bound strategy guide just because, because it's expensive. Strategy guide new. I'm checking eBay real quick, too, because it's me. All right, so let's go over this. So basically, it was all smoke and mirrors. They don't give a damn. They basically said, because of it, and because of the domicile thing, as well as the whole damn kitten caboodle, it was basically, they didn't take notes. So, basically, the advocate basically said, well, what are we supposed to do? I told her, well, she said, oh, that's that department. Well, when I talked to them, they said, oh, well, we'll do that in a week or two. We're not in a hurry. And because I'll be in Tuesday, I might not be able to get to the meeting until Thursday, so the reports might go out Friday at minimum, which means it's a week to go to payday, and they're just like, well, this is what's happening, which could be a past to do of the notice, right? But in the meantime, the manager doesn't realize that our priority, basically, for threats against others, quote unquote, is what they said, doesn't constitute domestic violence, all right? Now, basically making you live in fear at times of Chloe getting mad and screaming, it's usually I fear for Chloe's safety when she basically starts screaming and yelling, like the other day she was yelling at cars in, yelling at cars. Yeah, literally they were yelling at cars, okay? She was basically sitting there screaming and yelling at cars, going, "What's the F, blah, blah, blah," and saying F him, and that's what, scared me because she was just losing it, and at the time, I was concerned with, Chloe Spice on the fact that, that I care for Chloe dearly. At the same time, I don't want to see her basically get ran over and screaming, And, so technically, I wanted to share that with you all, So technically, I figured, that it would be best for me to talk to you about, what's going on and so forth and so on. Because, frankly, that's how it works. So, but basically the whole point is, my family's basically angry with me because, they think I want Chloe, but same time, there's nothing we can do about it. On a side note, I got an eye exam and hearing exam coming up with some hearing aid and eyes have been approved. So, for my birthday present, or late birthday present, I get glasses, which means I'm going through Zenny Optical, which means my helper is going to be helping. So anyway, look at it before I leave this rock, I'll be able to see again, which is really a blessing by itself. So, I could have went off island to get it done, but apparently, that's a different story. Now, I do want to say I bought, 48 quad rolled toilet paper, and I'm down to 47 rolls, and I tapped into it. I got my delivery like the 8th or 9th of the month, and it's been 10 days. We never opened it. We only took out one out of 24 double rolls. We have one double roll taken, so we're doing quite well. I think we can manage and not need more toilet paper towels for a few months. As long as we don't use that many for cleaning the bathroom, which is Chloe's duty, and then I just wash the floor, which is fine. But anyways, basically, I wanted to share that with you all now. I emailed Chloe's mother already about the problems at hand. I've also emailed my advocates, and they're like, wait till Monday and see the manager, and then go from there. But, the manager, it's either going to be hit, miss, anyway, look at it. She had rules, but they basically don't want to uphold their rules and regulations now because they think it's just basically a smoke mirror. They basically figured because, the emergencies and buying time, I actually was kind of disappointed because, I mean, literally, I went in to follow through with the protocols and they were just like, out you go. So, anyways, I wanted to share that with you all. I did look up what I was looking for, so, Anyways, I want to I got some business to do with, some other issues I gotta take care of tonight, but, it's been 34 minutes, so I want to say to you all, now you know what's going on, you're up to date, and, I hope I see you soon, here on the command bridge to talk to you about whatever's going on in my mind, mostly right now. Like I said, I know Dinky's angry because I vented, I apologize. And I know other people are upset now about my therapist. My therapist thinks that basically her logical thinking, as well as Poppy is the only person I truly have on this island, besides my dog and my bunny is Chloe. Chloe doesn't have her family, they don't want to know her. My family doesn't want to know me because I guess I'm too mental a whack job for them. So technically it's all good. So my therapist says don't trust anyone because of it. Because the family, we stick together, but I guess family only wants to stick together, in her opinion, and I'm just joking with her, you all. But her opinion is basically family sticks together no matter what. If family doesn't stick together, then you don't need to basically stick together with them. By the way, this is a Seattle dark roast coffee. It's actually like a Pike Place blend. Tastes really good. My donut shop blend is good, and I got a French roast. I got it grind up myself with my grinder. So I love all of you, and like I said, my therapist is basically saying don't trust anyone because family will let you down all the time. And she's saying, quote unquote, and if you're watching this, Dinky, Corey, Teddy, Chloe's mom. I mean, Chloe's been pretty much abandoned. Yeah, because we have each other, we're supposed to embrace each other, and, Teddy said, you don't embrace an abuser. Unfortunately, Chloe basically is, borderline is different, but, the thing is, unless we have some way, unless she's criminally charged with something, it's no way in hell. So basically, unless I end up homeless and I go my separate way, or I have family, as I was telling my therapist, help me out by giving me guidance on where national parks to go with my national parks pass, I might just basically, put everything stored and live in a national park, going from campground to campground by foot. But problem is I'm a service dog, so the national parks really don't want dogs there because of whatever. So I might have to get a gun or a crossbow or a bow and learn how to use it properly again, so the animals don't eat Moppy or Ebony. So, if you're watching this, but they were saying, don't trust that. Now my birthday's coming up, so throw it out there, give me some comments, suggestions, ideas. So in the meantime, everyone, including you, Dinky and Corey and Teddy Bear and Chloe's mom, I just want to say to all of you, I love all of you, and I thought it was time I gave you an update of what's truly going on because I just can't hide behind the computer screen wondering, with my bipolar 1 unofficial diagnosis, trying to figure out what to do because I don't have a primary care physician to do with what to do with this whole situation. I mean, literally, I got offered to leave my house and go homeless. Now, frankly, I don't like that idea, but, I'm willing to do it if it's the only option because the law states that I can't, they're not, let me put it this way, okay, before we go. I want Chloe's mom, Dinky, to realize it, because Dinky, should realize it, and Chloe's mom. They were disappointed Chloe wasn't at the meeting. Like, Chloe backdoored and went to the library and into the beach and all this stuff. So when I got my computer and I got my little Wi-Fi device that comes in this case, I went home and set it up and told them what happened. But, problem with the meeting is, and because I know Dinky was like, oh, well, did they do this? Well, when I went Thursday morning to put in the, because I know Chloe's mom's probably going to be with a mouth phone. They basically did the old smoke and mirror. So in the evening when I got off the ferry, because I was kind of pissed, so I took a ferry boat ride, a 3-hour ride all over the island, all 4 islands. When I got off the ferry, I talked to the advocate that was working that morning, and she and I sat for a few minutes privately, and she said, look, smoke and mirrors. Because it was a 10-day comply or vacate notice, they can't do anything anyway. Even if they invoke a eviction, you can run it out for 6 months. So, frankly, you're protected no matter what. So, the management company screwed, and the lady that runs the unit, or the one that's the head legal advisor, doesn't care. She basically went, and that's how come, so I said, when am I supposed to meet with her? And she said, maybe in a week, maybe 2 weeks, it just depends on her schedule. I'll keep it up with you, but you're not going to get anywhere, you might as well just donate $40 for her time, or 60 and leave it goes, as she said, from a birthday present perspective. We did our job, we went there, we basically listened, and that was all we were supposed to do. We weren't supposed to basically, I said, but you guys agreed to this. She said, yes, but we agreed to something that's illegal. See, the management company was doing something illegal, so, so you're a witness, and everyone else in that room was a witness. That's why I was there, she said. I was one of the advocates. So, but anyway, it's basically, I just want to share with you that. So, when I went back home, and I told Dinky, she was kind of happy, but fortunately, it was all smoke and mirrors, basically, because they had their own plan, and they weren't going to implement any of it. They were just throwing bones out there to give me time to leave or something. I don't get it. I mean, literally, I can't figure it out. My therapist, on the other hand, wants to talk to the management company on Wednesday. She says it's one of the advocate things that can stay there. But the thing is, I can't implement this thing because it's illegal. My therapist said it's illegal. You can't just make a deal in front of, the boss man and the lady and 3 advocates to get rid of Chloe by doing a restraining order. I mean, basically, Chloe has rights herself. And basically, if I was put on the stand, I would have to explain exactly the details of this meeting, and then we're all in trouble for basically agreeing to it, because frankly, thing is, if they really want to get rid of Chloe, they can implement their own restraining order, which means the neighbor can only issue it for, keeping them away and not making threats. So there you go, basically. So technically, it's basically, that's how it is. So technically, I just wanted to say, to you all, have a great and happy day and good time, and we will stay tuned for another video coming up sooner or later. But you guys get your update, what's going on, and so I will update you all Monday. Till then, please add, subscribe, please post comments, please leave feedback, suggestions, hit that like, subscribe button, so it's fun, even for your bunny. Hit that bell notification for new content. Thanks for watching, everyone. Admiral/Captain's Vlog out, his transmission in now.